today I got my clutch cable for the Yard Machine snowblower. Came in off of eBay, so I'm going to put that on. We got some snow coming tomorrow, and it would be handy to have this guy running. So I want to get down here. I didn't get a very good look at this the other day. I got this up on jack stands now. I didn't have this set up this way. This is actually pretty stable too, by the way. If you look at the whole thing, it's not really rocking very much. So up underneath here, the pin's still off. And I got the drop light out so you can maybe hopefully see a little bit better. Okay. Position there. Alright, so what you're looking at is the cable. That's a little pulley I showed you earlier. And this little pulley, the cable comes around here and goes in here through a slot in the pan that goes over here. And then it reaches forward over to here. If I can focus again. And there's a small spring over there. You see that spring? That spring, hold everything here. That spring pulls this plate backwards. That one there. That holds it out of gear. Now when I have my cable's going to go on there with that right there. So when I pull it, I'm going to pull this thing forward. You can see how it matches up with that wheel right there. And that wheel then goes over to this gear here. Right here, you can see the wheel is attached to this. Okay, and that turns this gear, which is attached to the axle. And then the axle turns this wheel. This is the permanently locked wheel. And this one only gets locked if I pull the pin, which is on the outside right there. If I pull the pin and lock it, which I showed you earlier. So I'm going to assemble this, and it's not too hard to assemble. It does come in two pieces. You have to put the little end on here. It do not come in, it just screws in. And what I did was I took the broken one and laid it out so that they were just about the same length. So hopefully when I'm done, it'll be very close, if not perfect, to what I'm looking for. So, that said, this end is going to go right up in here like that. If I can get it in there. It goes into that hole right there. And that flips up. And that comes down, so that's how it's in there like that. It's just in through the back side of it there. You see it up in there. Get the camera to focus. It's right there. That's the end of it. And then this piece is just going to come down. We're going to thread it through where we took it off before. This. The wheel's got to be out, that's what it is. The wheel's got to be, too many hands here. The wheel's got to be out like that. There you go. And then you got to make sure it doesn't get tangled up in the pieces here. And this can come down. Pull that taut, and then just snug this down with. This was 7/16, I believe. Yes, this is 7/16, and you can see on this side there is no nut on it. Just snug it up. Like that. Okay. So now it's in there. I'm not going to come out of there. Just don't want it to come past the end of that, that's all. But it's done. It's got a shoulder on it. It's a shoulder bolt. You can see the shoulder. See the shoulder right in there. But that's snug. It's just snug. Alright, so now this it's going to come down, and I believe it's going to go over the axle. I'm not really sure because it fell off before, so I think so, yeah. And it's going to go in down in there. So I'm going to have to put the camera down. I need two hands. Okay, so what I found was I actually had to catch the spring first. In here it's a little tricky, but I put it on with the hook coming in from the outside edge first. So the hook comes in like this on this side here. Only because it was too torn, so I put that on first because that's easier. And then I came up here, and then I had to disassemble it because I couldn't get the little S to go in the hole. So you just screw it on like this here, just undo it, and then if you just leave the nut, kind of line the nut up where the old one was, and you're pretty good. And then just bring it up like that and snug it with your finger. So now when I move the handle, you'll see that plate come forward and engage the hub. Oh, sorry. Alright, so what you'll do is as I pull that lever up there, you'll see it come forward and engage the wheel. You can see it moving in there. And that's all there is to it. It's ready to go. Should be all set. And this mechanism here is the speed. So as I move it one way or the other. Oh, okay, I see how it works. So what you're doing is when you're shifting, you're actually moving from the center of that wheel, that bigger wheel, to the outer of the bigger wheel. Now the outer part is faster, and this is slower. Now eventually you get to the other side of the wheel, and that's reverse, and there's only 2 speeds for reverse on this one, and you can see it bring it up like that. So that's reverse on that side, and this is forward, and then the faster I want to go, the farther out on the wheel I go. So there you go. I usually run it probably about I usually run it about 3. That's probably about 3 right there, because you can see the black where he typically runs. 1 to 3, I guess. I usually don't run it that fast down the driveway. Alright, so the pan, if you remember, has to go up into these little slots down in here. There's a slot here and there's a slot here. And actually having this up on a jack stand like this makes it a lot easier to get back in. So all I have to do is this, get that tongue of the pan stuck up in there, and then it folds right up like a hinge, and this upper piece has to go under there, and now you can see my bolt holes line up. So I can just put a bolt in and a bolt in, and I'm ready to go.